Yo, so we're here. We made it. All y'all that have been asking me, we're here. We made it. So, part one, putting the engine transmission in. I was debating on just doing this behind the scenes, I guess you could say, and then just bringing y'all in whenever I go to actually put it in. But this video shouldn't be that long, because I have everything I need to stick it in. It's not going to take me long to just stick it in and mount it. And that's what part one's going to be. This will probably be about 3 or 4 parts, depending on what exactly all I do. I know I'm putting it in, I'm getting it running, I'm doing shifter, exhaust, drive shaft, maybe gauges, I'm not sure. I'm doing front accessories, cooling system. I'm doing it all. So we're going to start here with part one, get this bad boy and that bad boy, so we can start doing this bad boy. Skirt. So let me show you where I'm at. I previously, in the last video about this, I had gotten these swap plates and I test fitted it, but I test fit it at night, so I didn't get to see much, so I retest fit it just now before I pulled it back out. And I had we got witness marks, so I can show you. I had a member, someone who subscribed and someone who contacts me on Facebook. He said, hey, on mine, I got the actual swap plates. So these swap plates bolt to the block. And then he took these and bolted them to these, using this as a spacer. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's good to know, just in general down the road. And I was like, but I wonder why he had to do it on that, because I didn't see any issues when I test fit it the other night. But sure enough, just now when I test fit it, you can see right there, once I got this mounted and I got the bolts through the mounts, it was sitting on the frame. The oil pan was sitting on the frame right there. So I'm going to do what he did, and I'm going to take these, bolt them into place there, and use them as a spacer and take care of that issue. He's using the same exact oil pan, same exact motor mounts, because he contacted me. He's actually the reason why I started doing consultation fees. He sent me a consultation fee. He was like, hey, I run a business, I know how it is, people using your time for your knowledge. Here's $100. And from then on I was like, well, dang, that makes a lot of sense. So that was my consultation fee, is $100 now. But I sent him all these same exact parts to do the swap in his G-body. So we're gonna do it here, and we're gonna see how it goes. So let me get those on there, and then I need to get the torque converter. This is an aftermarket torque converter we got from Summit. So we put just to catch you up to speed, or if you're new here, I put this cam in it. It's, to an extent, I know the internet critics are gonna tell me I'm wrong, but so I'm gonna say, to an extent, this is about the same as a Truck Norris cam. That's a BTR Stage 2 Truck Norris. They have the same exact lift with 0.553, and those are advertised as you don't need an aftermarket torque converter. But anytime you use an aftermarket torque or an aftermarket cam, it's always good to get a little bit higher stall torque converter, so that you get the best possible use of that cam, which is the whole reason why you put it in. You're not gonna make a boatload of power with that cam, but you will make obviously more than stock, and it'll sound good. It'll have a nice little chop. So if you're not aware, which I learned this a little while back, your V6 Trailblazers from the mid 2000s, they come with a 4L60, but they come with a higher stall 4L60. So a factory 4L60 stall like that one, I believe they're 16 or 1800 stalls. I believe it's 16. Google check me, but I'm pretty sure it's 16. And the V6 Trailblazers, these are a 22 to 2500 stall. That was just, I think they're 2200, but Summit advertised it as 22 to 2500. And this was only $176. Whereas compared to any typical torque converter, if you bought one, they're like $300-400, and that's on the low end. So that's gonna be a nice little upgrade for this 4060 and 5.3 with that cam. So I gotta unbox it. I gotta put fluid in it. I gotta stick it in the rebuilt transmission. Also, we got this rebuilt transmission from the same guy. Ooh, I think I just noticed something. Oh, okay. So that's a good sign. So I do rebuild transmissions from a guy in Marble Falls, Texas. This will be the 5th one I've used, I believe. I'll have to go back and count, but I think this is 4th or 5th. I'm not sure how much he charges. I'll have to ask the customer and let y'all know. But I believe it's like $1,200 for a rebuilt one. That's completely rebuilt, but no torque converter. But now that I'm looking at the sticker, so that first number tells you the year of that transmission. That saying 9 means this is probably a 4L65E and not just a 4L60. This one, you can't see the number, but Gen 3 is late 99 to very early 2007, but most of the time just 2006. But I don't want to get too technical. But up for that Gen 4, they all got 4L65Es. So that having a 9 on it, maybe that's a 4L65E, because that doesn't look like it's been pulled off and re-stickered. So that'd be great, because 4L65Es, they're obviously just a little upgrade from the 4L60s, which, something else, the LS2s, the LS1 and the LS2s of the 04 to 06 GTOs, they all got 4L65Es. And so did Escalades that came with LQ9s. So, just a little knowledge. I don't want to confuse y'all. Too much yapping. Mayor of Yaptown. So let's get that on that, and that. No diddy. All right, so within an hour and a half, I got the engine transmission mated. I got the starter on. I got it all mounted. But I don't have the cross member in. I went to put it in, but just not being able to see. I need to get under there during the daylight and do it. So I just have it sitting on a jack stand, the transmission. That's about where it'll sit. That is as far forward as it'll come, I believe. I'll have to look. But yeah, hour and a half. I got it. I got it 90% mounted, if you don't count the transmission being mounted. But tomorrow, tomorrow I actually should finish this video. I'll be cross member, finish mounting the motor mounts, but I need to test fit the eBay long tubes I have, since they're not specifically for a G-body, but I've Googled it, and people said they've made first gen Nova and first gen Camaro and 6874 Nova headers work, and those were only $190. And so if I need to take the tickle stick to them, that's not going to be a problem. But yeah, let's see what tomorrow brings. All right, next day. So the goal for today is to finish mounting this, having it all set up and ready for me to continue just obviously the rest of the swap. So last night we got it in. Let me get you under, well, you could see it from here. So obviously we have a lot more clearance now using those other swap plates as spacers. One thing I'm waiting on that we had to order yesterday, because of course I pulled them out of the old transmission and there was no O-rings on them, and you do not want to finish putting the transmission in until you get these put in. So these go in the factory ports right there, and they come with an O-ring, and these didn't have an O-ring, they just had silicone, which makes sense because the shop that charged this dude $7,000 and did absolutely nothing, just sent him home with a roller. They didn't have the O-rings on here when they put them in the old transmission. They just had some RTV, and that is not going to work. And so I just got him to order new ones with new O-rings. I could have gone to the store and got O-rings, but the ones that come with them I just didn't want to waste that time or extra money when I could just give them these back. And we have the ones that come with the O-rings set up for these specifically, because trust me, I know this, you do not want to have these leak whenever you have all this done, because it's not fun to take it all back apart. So today I'm going to put the cross member in. I'm just not going to completely bolt it in, because I want to be able to get back under here and drop the transmission, let it hang down some, so I have more room. Well, actually, I might have room on that side. I'll have to see where the transmission mounts, but I might not have to let this back down. If I have that much hand room, I'll be able to put them in from down here, but we'll just have to see. I need to put the mount on. Everything is, if you can see, we got all that clearance now, So today will be finished. I'm gonna take the old exhaust out, and I also got to take the old column shifter rod out, which I should have done before I stuck this in, but it shouldn't be too hard to get out while it's in here. And I got to test fit the headers and see what type of Hulk smashing I got to do. But let's continue. right, so we are in there like swimwear, my boy. So don't get confused. There's transmission mount holes here and down there. I took about 20 minutes trying to figure out how this bad boy goes in. So you got the 2 holes here, 2 there, 2 there. It goes to those front 2, and then there's only one option over here, which is those 2 holes. I don't have anything bolted down. It's not tight yet. I just have the bolts in the hole so that it doesn't move. But I'm gonna have to hopefully. Oh, I have room. All right, I should be able to bolt this in then, because that's plenty of room for my skinny hands. Your mom loves my hands. To get in there and put those cooler line fittings in there. But we are in. I need to. Oh, that's gonna be tight. I might have to pick the engine up. So technically, this is mounted. So that's the end of this video. What are you? You're in my way, I know that. But we are going to test fit the headers while we are at this point. Oh, I need to take that shifter rod out. Just a little cotter pin right there, and that'll pop out. But let me get that, and then we'll test fit the headers. Told you dinner's supposed to be ready at 5. All right, so driver's side header made to fit. Got it Krusty Classics customized. So got it. That was the main issue right there. So just get your tickle stick. You'll have plenty of built up frustration from doing this, so just take it out on the header. Now remember, these weren't specifically made for a G-body. So I told you from the beginning, we were gonna have to do that. Right there, it might need a tickle, but I have it right where the bolt's gonna go, so it might just barely clear, but we'll see. I'm gonna move on to the passenger side because that looks like she's gonna be tight, unlike your mom, but that's my fault. But let's get that passenger side header and do more of the tap, tap, tap. Okay, so no long tube headers, at least not these. I tried with this passenger one. We've been going back and forth like Captain America and Iron Man in Civil War for like 30 minutes now, and it's just not having it unless I absolutely destroy one of the tubes to where it goes from that wide to that wide. And let me show you why. I might lay down and take a nap. So I got it. I started beating it there, and I beat it all along there. And then I beat it. Just beat it. Ow! I just hit my head. Good timing. And then I beat it right there. You know, a little domestic violence never hurt nobody. But you get it up in there and see where it's just the spark plug's going in the hole. It's because one, it's hitting really bad there where I gave it a little tickle, but not enough. But the biggest issue is the transmission. I even have the transmission scooted over to the left, and that whole tube. So just think, I would have to smash it to where there's only that much tube left for exhaust to go through. So no cheap eBay long tubes is what I'm gonna say. I do know just by looking at this that Shorty S10 long tube headers will fit because they're made specifically for tight spaces like this, and the end will come like right there, so I won't have to worry about any of this. I even took the starter out to try and get it to fit, and it's just not gonna happen. So, oh, I even took the cross member. Let's put that back in. All right, that is it for part one. We are mounted, engine's in, transmission is in, headers, obviously, that was why I wanted to do it this video. So now we know, now I know what to get. I will, just to make it even more easy for you guys, I will put the part numbers or the links to what we used in the description. I know most of y'all are going to get to about 3 minutes in and you're going to ask me, what mounts did you use? What cross member did you use? What cherry picker did you use? So I'll make it even easier for you guys, but I need you to do something for me. I need you to like, subscribe, and comment. It helps me, help you, help me, helps you with content, but helps me make money for content. It's a customer vehicle, so it's a little different, but that is it. G-body swap engaged. So appreciate you watching. It's labor. It's a good amount of labor. It's crazy to think that my labor charge compared to just about any shop is thousands less, and I'll still get people that are like, you're crazy. I'll even tell you right now, $4,500 gets you engine, transmission in. It gets you everything to run and drive swap related. Engine, transmission bolted in. Pull old engine, transmission out if needed. Entire fuel system done. Entire cooling system done. Put aftermarket front accessories on, or accessories in general. Throw the intake on. Do what I did with the headers to make sure they fit. That was an hour by itself just to end up not working. Put the entire engine together, hook up the entire wiring harness, hook up the computer, get it running, do any little wiring needed for the swap to run and drive. I mean, I do everything. That way, when it's done if we don't cam it because I don't tune. But for 4,500 bucks, I do everything swap related, hooking up shifter, doing aftermarket shifter, to where when we set it on the ground and start it and put it in drive, as long as your brakes, you have good brakes, and you know the car is actually was drivable beforehand, then that is everything done for 4,500 bucks for you to hop in it, put it in reverse, get out of my driveway, and cruise on home. Oh, that includes exhaust too. If you bring me a bolt-in exhaust system, that's also included in the $4,500 labor charge. So those of y'all that ask me where you at, I'm in Temple, Texas. How much? 4,500 for a full swap, or 2,500, and all I do is I bolt the engine transmission in. I put what's needed to run on the engine: harness, intake, coil pack, spark plugs, blah, blah, blah. That the main stuff, no accessories or anything, just for it to run. Fuel system, headers, and 2,500 bucks. That's all I do. But that at least gets you started, and gets you bolted in, engine running, and then you can do the rest. But apparently that's expensive to people. Apparently they want me to do it for like 500 bucks. They want me to build them a whole running driving car. But I mean, I'm a nobody just on YouTube that works literally in my driveway. I make these videos for you guys to be able to do them yourself, so you don't have to pay me or a shop. But if you pay me, just know it all goes to the channel. I get more projects. Should be picking up a channel project this weekend, but that's enough yapping. Now you guys got enough information. If you were about to comment me, asking me where I'm at, how much, blah, 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 blah. So I appreciate you watching. Just go swap something. I got shirts coming soon. I'm waiting for the shirt people to just let me know, hey, your shirts are done. So LS swaps and flip-flops coming soon. But I'll see y'all in part 2. Go build something, like, subscribe, comment, you know the whole deal. Just do it, please, for me.